Vancouver is absolutely beautiful. Great food, great art, amazing sushi.
Yeah.
Such a green city. Probably one of the coolest places we've gotten coffee yet. We stuffed our faces. Just across the street from St. Laurent, and there is a child behind me having a temper tantrum right now.
Let's go!
It is so cool to be back in the city. This summer was amazing, and we got so much incredible nature, but we are city people at heart, and there is just energy in a place like this that can't be matched anywhere else. Vancouver in particular is so diverse, and we've also learned recently that it's a world-class food city. So we're gonna take advantage. We are going to eat out for every one of our meals today because we want to see what Vancouver's got.
Just went in the exit.
Now that we've tried our iced Americanos, we can confirm that this is an excellent coffee. It's a bit strong too, so be careful. Also, the pastries are worth the trip here all on their own. This blueberry pavlova with lemon curd and a hint of mint is easily the best pastry I've ever had in my life. It's so perfect.
Yeah, and this raspberry cheesecake croissant is out of this world. We started our day at Nemesis because when we were researching where to get the best coffee in Vancouver, Nemesis was at the top of all of the lists. They have other locations around the city, but the one on Great Northern Way was the most highly recommended.
This is probably one of the coolest places we've gotten coffee yet. Vancouver is such a green city. It's got trees throughout, and not the smaller ones that we're used to seeing in cities that we visit, but really large, thick, older growth trees as well mixed in there, so it's really nice. We, however, are in the greenest part of the city in Stanley Park. Think Central Park for New York City or Griffith Park in Los Angeles. This is a massive green space with lots of recreational opportunities, from tennis courts, dog parks, walking and biking trails, and it's right on the coast. So there is a 9-mile seawall that surrounds it all. That is quite the nice walk if you feel up to it. We're gonna go just a short distance in to see the 9 o'clock gun, which is a must-see when you come to Vancouver.
It's my first time seeing a boat gas station. They get Chevron just like cars do, apparently. The 9 o'clock gun was brought to Vancouver from England in 1894. They fired the gun at 9 p.m. every night so that the citizens of the city could set their watches. To this day, you could still hear a loud boom at 9 o'clock throughout the city.
Stanley Park, and we paid for the full day with the expectation that we would be walking around to the other spots we want to see in the city, but man is it hot. And we started walking from Stanley Park down here to where we are now, which is Granville Island. This is a really cool part of the city, really eclectic, lots of shops, restaurants, street performers, live music, and as you can see, very, very busy. We only got a short distance on the way here before we decided to just break down and get a lift. Let's go get some lunch.
It's time for lunch, and they have tons of options here at Granville Public Market. I cannot wait to see what we settle on. It's mushroom chips, but they taste like pork rinds.
There are so many food choices here, but we both got really excited when we saw Mediterranean. Here and show off both of our meals. I got the falafel and Stephen got fried halloumi.
I am so excited to try that.
Oh my gosh, and then we also got a side of lemon potatoes.
This is gonna be delicious, I can already tell.
We're gonna dig in, fuel up, and then check out a little more of the Granville Island area before we head up to Gastown and see something really cool up there. Is so cool, and there are so many good things to eat here.
Oh, man.
But there's also a ton of people. I don't know if it's tourists because it's summer or if it's because it's BC Day and everyone in town is out here enjoying it because they have the day off. Probably a combination of the two.
Both.
Yeah, I think you're right. Anyhow, we are gonna hop on one of these cool water ferries, take it back towards the main part of the city, and check out a couple cool things up there. To Gastown, we noticed a bunch of activity down an alley. We just wandered into the Clean Lines Graffiti Jam. This takes place every BC Day weekend, so we're catching the tail end of it right now. But this is a really cool event where a bunch of artists get together. Apparently they get some amazing featured artists who are well known in the community to come out and contribute to this alley. And the whole thing is just flooded with color and amazing art. Gastown now, which is another cool neighborhood here in Vancouver. And I don't know what makes a neighborhood uncool, but I think we can always agree that if it's a cool neighborhood, it's got great food, great art, and probably some really cool shops that aren't chains.
Yes, Andy.
Do you happen to know why this area is called Gastown?
As a matter of fact, I do. This area was named after John Gassy Jack Dayton, who moved to the area in 1867 to open the first saloon. So locals around the saloon in that area started calling it Gastown.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Did you know that it's Vancouver's oldest neighborhood?
I didn't.
And possibly Canada's oldest urban center or core?
That's fascinating.
That is fascinating.
We've since learned that around 1870, At the age of 39 or 40, Dayton married and had a child with a 12-year-old indigenous Squamish girl. In 2022, during an annual march for murdered and missing indigenous women, protesters pulled down a statue of Gassy Jack that stood in Gastown for more than 50 years. We encourage you to learn more about missing and murdered indigenous women at nativehope.org. The link is also in the description of this video.
You know what else is fascinating? This clock. This is one of the reasons a lot of visitors come to the area.
This is the world's first steam-powered clock, and every 15 minutes it whistles. So we've got about 7 minutes until it goes off. I guess we'll just stand here and stare at it with everybody else in the meantime.
We got 3/4 of a song.
In a perfect world, we would be here for 3 days. But given that we're doing van life right now, it means that we have to forego spending a lot of time in a lot of cities. Places like Vancouver don't allow camping or overnight parking where you can sleep in your vehicle within the city limits, which means that we gotta come in, spend our day here, we can find parking for the day, and that is it, which means tonight we're headed back across the border back to the US. But if we were gonna stay here for a couple more days, we would definitely start with lots more eating because there's so many awesome food options here. We would also probably take one of these ghost tours or these lost souls tours because those are always a really fun way to learn the history of cities. And finally, I think we would probably take a ferry across to Vancouver Island and spend a day in Victoria because that is supposed to be absolutely beautiful. And we will definitely be coming up this way again one day so that we can do just that. Well, we've managed to walk right to the Rodeo Drive part of town.
Yeah, but we didn't come here to shop. We're here for another really cool stretch of art.
We are looking for an alley, and we got a little lost coming here. It wasn't really clear on Google Maps which way we were meant to go, so we ended up walking into a very nice hotel, and the man at the front desk was very kind to lead us back through the hotel, through his loading bay, and into a secure area to get out the back of the hotel into the alley.
Yeah.
He probably thought we were crazy coming in there asking for alley access, but he was so nice and cool about it, and now we can check out some of the art back here in Canvas Corridor.
That is the awesome thing about cities like Vancouver that value culture. They will allow just about any space to become an art space.
To have an easier time finding Campus Corridor than we did, just stay on Thurlow, and you're gonna go down Ihu Lane, just across the street from St. Laurent. And there is a child behind me having a temper tantrum right now. Sorry about that. We are making our way up Robson now, back towards Stanley Park and where we left the van for the day.
Yeah, and on our way there, we're gonna stop for dinner. And this is the meal that we have been looking forward to the most since we decided to come to Vancouver.
That's right. We knew that this was a food city, but one of the claims that we heard is that the sushi in Vancouver is apparently the best in the world. Now, that is a big claim.
That's quite the claim.
We've been to Japan. Steven's actually spent quite a bit of time there. So we are very excited to taste what they have here. I don't know if I'll be able to even compare it to Japan because it's been a while since we've been there. So I'm not going to try to say whether it's better or as good as, but I do expect that it's going to be very good given what we've heard.
And we met a woman up in Squamish who's from Vancouver, and she enthusiastically agreed that this is a town for sushi. And as a matter of fact, she said you can't go wrong anywhere you go.
Yeah, we asked her for her recommendation, and she couldn't even come up with just one. She said even the mid-price places are amazing. So that is what we're going for tonight. We have found probably the perfect spot to enjoy the sunset.
Gorgeous.
And there is an incredible sculpture right in front of me that we're going to show you in just a second. But first, can we talk about the sushi?
Oh my goodness, top of the charts, the sushi.
We can definitely confirm that Vancouver has amazing sushi.
Yeah, world
At the
class.
very least, at Tom's Sushi, because that's the only one we tried.
Okay, fair enough.
But if that is at all indicative of what you find here, you cannot go wrong. There has got to be a lot of amazing options. That was a mid-priced place. It was excellent, very nice.
Very
but
nice
certainly
restaurant.
not one of the more expensive or really like top of everybody's list kind of places because we couldn't really afford that. So if that's what we were going for, then it probably even gets better from there. And I mean,
can't imagine.
It was excellent. So good. We stuffed our faces. Now, gotta show you the sunset and the sculpture in front of us, which is called Amazing Laughter. Get some dessert today, but I think we stuffed ourselves too much on that sushi, and it was totally worth missing dessert for.
Absolutely worth it.
Please make sure you like and subscribe so you can see the rest of our 50 states mission. We're headed back to the U.S. now, finally, and bittersweetly. But please do join us. We've got 10 states left to go. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.